Welcome back to another Who Are We episode, Halloween special, okay? Part 2. This one isn't as mysterious or spooky as the first one I did, but it is still an interesting story. Today, this Who Are We episode is based on Screamin' J. Hawkins. Roll that intro. So Screamin' J. Hawkins, born July 18th, 1929 in Cleveland, Ohio. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, before I did research on him, I thought for sure he was from New Orleans. I really did. Because I first heard about him from the Arsenio Hall show. He first studied classical piano, all the way, like from a toddler, all the way up until he was 12 years old. Because when he became the age of 12, that's when he wanted to play more of jazz and blues on the piano. So he stopped taking up classical piano lessons. So from a little kid on up, he was already ready to go with the music and stuff. Like he's a prodigy. He's a prodigy, you know what I'm saying? Hawkins, he lied on his birth certificate so he could become a part of the army in World War II, and he said, according to him, right, he said, I was a young dude, but I did a lot of killing. I enjoyed it. It was a beautiful thing to me, to be able to take a life without having to go to jail. That's what he said, right? Okay. However, records show that Hawkins didn't enlist into the army until December 1945. Okay, and it turns out he used most of his musical skills to entertain, the other army vets and stuff like that. That's it. But to him, he killed it. So okay. Anyways, Hawkins was also a boxer for a little while. He started while he was in the army. So, and of course he lied about that too, saying that he was 1947 golden weight champion or whatever. Go back to the records. His name ain't on nothing, but at least we know that he did box. Okay, he was a boxer for a short period of time. Because he did have the body build and stuff for it. So it does make sense, you know what I'm saying? And back then everybody was boxing in the army. Anyways, Hawkins began to start playing music professionally in the Cleveland area clubs when he was, discharged from the army in 1951. He started playing in some of the Cleveland area clubs professionally, and he got his official start at Gleason's Bar and the Majestic Hotel. He got the name Screamin, and his name with Jay Hawkins from a concert that he was doing in West Virginia. And one of his friends was like, "Scream, baby, scream." And then he just attached that to the rest of his name. So that's how you get the name Screamin' J. Hawkins. Because the way he would scream, it was like in a theatrical type of way. And I read somewhere else that that before he ever picked up a guitar, they said he didn't pick up a guitar until his adulthood, but before that he wanted to play the piano and he wanted to be an opera singer. And if anybody knows anything about opera, it is very theatrical, the way how they utilize their vocal tones, all that. So that doesn't surprise me, just hearing the way how Screamin' J. Hawkins scream in certain ways, and was obviously very theatrical with his outfits and stuff. That's he put a little bit of that opera theatrics in his performances when you think about it. So technically he did reach that status of wanting to be an opera singer in his own way with blues and jazz and stuff. In 1956, Hawkins would record the song "I Put a Spell on You." The Halloween, that's like a well-known Halloween song. That's the only reason why I'm doing this episode, is because it's a well-known Halloween song. I put a spell on you. But the song "I Put a Spell on You," ooh, okay, his first version was just a blues ballad that went unnoticed in 1956. In 1956, it was his first version, his first attempt to it. It was a blues ballad. He released it, and it didn't go anywhere. However, his second attempt to the song is the "I Put a Spell on You" that all of us hear today, and it's the song that really made him a star. That was like his strike to fame, and also the song that made him a pioneer of shock rock. And like, if you know, like, say like, you know, artists like Marilyn Manson, like he's kind of like under that shock rock, style. So it's like very, like I said, very creepy, scary, theatrical, a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying? It's like that type of, like he's the Screamin' Jay Hawkins is the pioneer of shock rock. So whenever you see that type of rock music, just think of Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Columbia Records executive Arnold Matson, right, suggested Hawkins to do something different with the "I Put a Spell on You" song this time, and so Matson, he bought in some refreshments and stuff, and bought in some muscatel for, the guys in the studio session. They all drunk that stuff up, got blind drunk, or like my family say, toe up drunk, and recorded that studio session. They don't even remember anything about that studio session once they got drunk. They recorded it, and according to Hawkins, he said 10 days later when that record came out, he heard all the drunken screams and groans and yells and thought, oh my God, okay? Like, man, we were really into this song. This sounds spooky. Like, you know how like older people, they call alcohol spirits. Anyways, maybe that's what this was. I don't know. Anyways, his scary imagery was created from his song "I Put a Spell on You," because before that, I mean, y'all see the photos in the earlier part of this episode of him, like he just looked like a regular singer from the 50s, you know what I'm saying? But after he put out that song "I Put a Spell on You," he got into the whole imagery of what that song projects out there to the audience. So it's like, if the song sounds scary, he was gonna get scary with it, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. So it's like, he really played into the role for the rest of his career, honestly, of this spooky man who does voodoo. Like I said, I thought he was from New Orleans. I had no idea the dude was from Cleveland, Ohio. His friend Alan Freed was the one who suggested to him to get even more of a horror vibe into his performances by rising out of a coffin at the beginning of his performance of the song "I Put a Spell on You." Like, so he told him like, ooh, rise out of a coffin and all that type of stuff, At first, Jay Hawkins, he was like, I don't know, that's kind of pushing it. Like, I'm already dressing up kind of scary. I even got a skull that's smoking a cigarette. Do I really have to? And then all of a sudden, Alan Freed, he was like, I'll pay you an extra $2,000. He was like, okay, I'll rise out of a coffin. I'll do that. Yeah, sure.
He says, now I want you to come out that coffin when the curtains open while the lithoscope is on. And it would look like you're moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. He says, I guarantee you the people will tear the seats out of the floor, which they did do. Now, I told him, I said, I won't do it. Black people don't get in that until they're dead. And that way they don't have to worry about getting out. He says, Jay, you guys, I said, forget it. I've done you a lot of favors. I don't owe you nothing. I'll do anything you want, but I won't get in that coffin. So I went back to the dressing room. He followed me all the way up to the dressing room. He says, you will get in the coffin. And he pulled out a big wad of $100 bills. Jay, you got to. You're going to. I said, you can't buy me. But he kept on. I kept watching. I didn't want to miss nothing. And I'd never seen $1,000. And when he got to $2,000, I got weak. I said, well, I'll try it once,
So that is the story of Screamin' Jay Hawkins. I really had a good time. Right. By the way, this Halloween special is like a last minute thing. I was just going to do a regular episode today of somebody else completely. But like, Friday, I was like, ooh, you know, we should make this as a Halloween special. So I was like, let me do some on Robert Johnson, you know, and then because his life story is very mysterious and kind of scary. And then yesterday, I was like, ooh, let's make it a two-parter. Let's make 2 episodes. So I was like, who else is like somebody in Black history that kind of is like gives off a spooky vibe? I'm like, Screamin' Jay Hawkins. So that's his story. Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Thank you guys for watching. Go and check out my merch store. You know what I'm saying? Free shipping code is CRP2000 for free shipping. So go ahead and check that out if y'all want to. And thank you guys for watching. Also, join my Discord. I keep on forgetting to tell you guys I have a Discord. So if you guys want to just come into the Discord chat and suggest, you know, people for me to like research, or if y'all just want to like talk about certain things of Black history or food or videography tips or music, whatever, come into the Discord chat. Like, we got a few people in there. It's fun so far. But yes, thank you guys for watching, and thank you Screamin' Jay Hawkins for pioneering shock rock, that theatrical, okay, side of rock, that's scary, that's spooky side of rock. I would have never thought it was Screamin' Jay Hawkins that pioneered that, because I didn't know much about him anyways. I would just, shock rock, I immediately think of like Marilyn Manson and people like that. But Screamin' Jay Hawkins, it makes a lot of sense for him to be a pioneer of it though. I mean, when you look at his performances. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching the Halloween special, and hopefully I should be back next weekend with another episode.
Most people think there really is something wrong with me, and I guess deep down in my heart, John, maybe I am crazy. But if that's the only, if being like this enables me to go to the bank, I'm going to stay this way.